So I got 3 new knives to check out. Now all of these I've never checked out before. This is all the first time. And you can get these from a lot of different dealers. I will link dealers down in the description for you guys. But I got this from Monthly Knife Club. So if you would have gotten it from Monthly Knife Club, you would have saved yourself some money because you would have gotten it for a lot better deal. So let's start off with the 2 budget knives that would have been for the standard in tier 2. So we have the standard, which is the Bestech Torpedo. Now, this is all the specs on it. You can look at it really quick if you want to see. So you would have only paid 35 bucks for this. The value is about 52 to 65 bucks. Sometimes you can get them for better deals than that, you know, but on average, that's what it'll be. Now I gotta say, I actually like this thing quite a bit. Beautiful blade shape. I love how it almost has like a, how it curves up just a little bit right there and then goes back down and peaks down. Very pokey. It's going to be great for utility cuts. Beautiful blade shape all around. This section right here is really easy to get your finger over. And obviously you can choke back, and that's also very comfortable. The grip is very comfortable. We have a deep carry clip that is reversible. Wish it had flat screws. Does have a lot of milling in there. Decent access to the lock bar. Very smooth on the drop. The flipper tab and detent is tuned very nicely. They did a good job with that. Flipper tab's a little bit pokey. Not pokey. It scoops up a little bit, so you kind of have to hit the corner of it, but it's not pokey. It's fine. The detent is not too strong, so it's very easy to launch out nice and comfortably. It is D2 steel, which is a mid-grade steel. And, you know, but we're pretty much getting it on a budget right now. D2 is kind of all over the board. It just depends on how well it's heat treated. But let's get to the next one, which would be tier 2. So tier 2, I gotta say, I really like this one. So this one, you would have gotten for 55 bucks, and it's between $59 and $73. You can see all the information there. And I'm not a huge fan of the JG10, but you can always dye that yourself. But the knife, oh my goodness. I'm surprised. This is my first time trying this one, as this is really good. And just so you can see the size comparison between the two, this one is definitely a lot larger. Very ergonomic. These ergonomics are beautiful. Nice, beautiful straight edge. You could call it a sheep's foot or a Warncliffe. It's going to be great at utility cuts. Long distance cuts are going to be great too, because you're going to have the leverage all the way out to the tippity tip. You could turn around and cut straps. Good access to the lock bar. Great flipping action. The flipper tab, it looks like it's a little low, but it works. It works really well. Nice and comfortable. Good jimping. Good amount of detent. You can also do the push button. And then you have this fuller that you can thumb or reverse flick very easily. I can do it with my, well, I bet you I can do it with my ring finger. So yeah, you can, this thing's very fidgety. It's very fidgety. It feels extremely useful. Sharpening tool and plunge grind is not done too bad. Actually, it's really good. They separated the end of the plunge from the edge. Good job there. Great access to the lock bar. Not a reversible clip, but it is deep carry. We got some milling on the inside. Very smooth on the drop. I can tell it's on ceramic caged bearings. Very smooth. So yeah, this is a good one. I really like this one. I think this is like a perfect work knife. This is what most guys are looking for a work knife right here. It has that nice lean forward to it. You know, it has, you know, everything you want basically in a work knife. The only thing it doesn't have is belly. So if you do use belly quite often, then it might not be your cup of tea, but for utility cuts and stuff like that and slicing, man. Now the last one is from the Onyx Collector's Plan, which is the premium one. Now this one cost 120 bones. But with the 120 bones, you're getting a knife between 160 and 224. It does come with some extra hardware and a tool. Like most Defcon knives do. I've never tried this Defcon knife, so this is actually pretty cool. It has obviously a titanium frame lock, beautiful micro milling. Actually, this is nice deep micro milling. Titanium backspacer. Got a little attitude adjuster back there. I did push it into my pocket before we started the video because I unboxed these before, you know, so I had them all ready to come out, and I slipped it in the pocket really quick, and man, this is one of the best clips I've ever tried. As far as like a titanium milled pocket clip like this, it is so smooth. There's no hang up whatsoever. I mean, this is literally a perfect clip. I cannot express that enough. Just look at this tension, like beautiful tension. You know, it has enough to hang on, but not enough to to tear your pockets up. Fantastic flipping action. Wow, this thing cranks out there. Holy cow. Yeah, this thing launches. Is this a hollow? No, that's got to be a flat grind. I got to double check. It is a flat, but man, that's got some thin geometry. Really thin geometry. Really nice cutting edge. Crown spine. Very good looking drop point blade with what looks like an etched and blasted finish, but it's very smooth. This flipper tab and detent is just perfection. They got this detent tuned. So that's one thing I've noticed about Defcon though, man. Defcon does a good job. They do a good job all the way around. And honestly, if I looked at them and seen them somewhere, I wouldn't think they did as good of a job as they do based on how big their logo is and things like that. Because, well, you know, it's just a track record thing. You know, when you see big logos like this, it tends to push you. It's either one, a USA-made knife that's really good, or two, it's a cheap Chinese knife. But in this case, you know, it's a Chinese-made knife, but a really good one. S35 VN. Good access to the lock bar. They didn't knock this back, but it is chamfered just nicely, so very easy to get past the detent. Detent is nice and early. Super duper smooth. Ergonomics are really well done too. This is something I feel like I could jam into something. I could do long-term slicing with. You can turn around and cut straps. Flipper tab's a little big, but you can do it. Utility cuts are going to be good, and that's kind of the beautiful thing with a spear pointish drop point blade or a drop point blade with a low tip. You can see the tip is centered with the pivot or lower, which makes it good for utility cuts. So if you need to use the tip on anything, it'll work really good. However, you can also use the belly. The flipper tab is a little big. Some people would call it a pocket pecker. Personally, I don't mind that as long as it flips well, and this does protect you a lot from sliding up the blade. And if you really need to, you can go over the top of it. Not a fan of the plunge grind. I do kind of wish that was moved away so you had more life to sharpen off of your edge. Love the micro milling. Don't like the T6s. We already talked about the clip. I love the clip. Nice landing zone. All in all, man. Yeah, this feels like, to me, it feels like a $200 knife. I'll say, I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. Like, if you could say 150, 160, you know, like, all in all, like, if I didn't look at this and I was just like, how much is this knife? I would have guessed between 150 and 200. That would have been my guess. Ooh, I can reverse flick it because the texture is like sandy or, you know, like blasted on the blade. Now that will make it more susceptible to corrosion, but I think it has some sort of coating on it. I'm not sure. It might just be an etch and stonewash. It's hard to tell. But anyways, it is a 3.6 inch blade, 8.75 overall. The finish, they're saying satin gray. That is definitely not a satin. It's a blasted, but whatever. But anyways, there you guys go. Just a quick look at 3 knives that you would have gotten in February or coming up in February if you were part of the monthly knife club where you can get knives sent to your house monthly, randomly. And yeah, there you guys go.